Hey, what's up? Thank you so much for joining this web class. My name is Chris Cunningham, and I'm really pumped to be on here today because I'm about to show you how you can create video content that resonates with your audience, builds trust and authority, and even more important than that, it makes way more sales. And I will say this, that I've been emailed over and over and over about this specific training from folks who are thankful that this presentation isn't just fluff, because I make it my goal to actually give you something of substance so that you can take immediate action and get started when you leave this training. And the best part of it all is that there's no experience. You don't have to know where to start. You don't have to have technical skills, or you don't even have to be comfortable on camera. None of that stuff is required. And I don't want to pull any punches from what is true here. Statistically, video crushes every single other form of marketing content by leaps and bounds. And just so you know, I'm not the only one saying that, right? As an example, Entrepreneur Magazine says the choice is clear. Video content is the king. Don't bother with another social channel until you leverage the power of video. And Forbes magazine says that the power of video, it can't be ignored. It's the most engaging type of content that's available today, and it's never been more affordable to create, which is precisely what this presentation is about. And what I get amped up about is this, that entrepreneurs, my belief is that they are the passionate dreamers that are insane enough to believe that they can put a man on the moon, they can punch holes through mountains, put a steam engine through it, right? Or they can even cure diseases. And so for me, the reason that why I'm here, why I want to teach this is if I'm able to help you get your message out into the world to impact more people, then that's how we transform this amazing world together, right? So before we move forward, I want to mention that this year I launched an online course called Video Creation Academy. This is an online course. It distills and it boils down all of this video marketing stuff into a step-by-step roadmap of how to actually strategize, how to script, how to film, and how to publish beautiful video content. The key there is beautiful, not cringy looking videos that actually can harm your brand, but stunning looking videos that actually resonate with your viewers and convert, right? But I had this crazy idea right before we launched in January. It was January of 2020. My gut was screaming to overhaul the program in such a way that we could take a complete newbie, no matter what their experience, and teach them how to create their first powerful video from script all the way to the screen. And we're going to do this within 2 days. Now, a couple people I know, they told me this was absolutely ridiculous, that the learning curve for video is just too huge. But because I am of the belief that first, entrepreneurs are among the most creative, intellectual people on the planet who do want to transform the world, and that gives them a lot at stake. There's a lot of heart into what they do. And second, I'm crazy enough to believe that I am a good enough teacher who can take that intelligent person who desires to mix video into their marketing, but feels like it is an impossible task, right? But I could show them how to do the impossible. So the first student who entered the course was on January 5th, and he completed his first video by the end of the day, January 6th, from script to screen. And, you know, it's not just that he made a video. Here's what he wrote afterward. I created my first video ever. When I shared it, I closed a client within 4 hours. Within several days, I had 5 qualified leads at zero cost, all within a matter of about a week. I went from complete novice to somebody with authority in the marketplace with my service in high demand. This course has been a game changer, he says. And all of a sudden, because of this, it became real for other students that had joined who entered the course. If this guy can do it, man, I can do it, is what they were saying. And then the second student did that. She created her first video. Her phone literally started blowing up, and she began booking new clients immediately. In fact, 2 new clients within 48 hours of posting her first video. This is the second student that entered. And then another did it, and the videos that they're filming themselves are looking so professional. And then another, and they just kept coming, and the testimonials, they started flooding in, and they're saying things like, this program is like nothing I've ever seen before. Another one said, I've made my money back tenfold in value in finance. And another says, wow, this was much easier than I thought. And then this adorable couple joined the academy, and they created their first video ever, a video that had my wife and I in tears. The thing was so good. And what's happening is people are entering the Video Creation Academy, and they're realizing how easy it actually is to make stunning looking videos that drive sales when you're taught to do it right. What's so cool for me is that I get to be part of the lives of other people, helping them make a difference, because most people who succeed in business are people who are doing things in service. Okay, just so you know you're in the right place, these video strategies that we're about to dive into, they work with four core types of businesses. The first are people selling physical products and e-commerce, things that you might sell on Amazon or Shopify, places like that. The second type of people are people like authors and speakers and coaches and consultants. I've had major success with them as well. The third type of businesses are network and affiliate marketers. Chris, the gentleman that we shared his testimonial earlier, he is an affiliate marketer. And the fourth type of business are professional services and retail, okay? I've personally produced marketing videos for every single one of these industries, both for-profit and non-for-profit. The core thing that I want you to take away from this section right here as we get into all of this is that video is not biased. It doesn't discriminate from who you are as a person or the niche that you're working in. And if you implement it properly, it can completely level the playing field in such a way that you can compete even with the largest brands on the planet or the biggest entrepreneurs online. And if all that sounds lofty to you, then you are 100% totally underestimating the power of marketing, what it is that you do with the most powerful tool on the planet, which is video. Not only is it highly visual, but video gets shared 1,200% more than text and images combined. Hear that again, 1,200% more than text and images combined. Think about that. That's crazy if you think about it, isn't it? And that leads to probably my biggest goal for today. I want you to walk away from this web class believing as strongly and confidently as I do, and as Forbes and Entrepreneur Magazine does, that you can absolutely crush it in your business right now with video. There is not a company represented in this web class that we couldn't 5x with the right video marketing blueprint. And if that's the case, I recommend committing to using it as soon as humanly possible, because the life that we want and the dreams that I want, right, and the family that I want, they are fueled by the businesses that we build. And so that is my goal for today. I want to show you strategically how to apply video into your business so that you get the visibility that you need using the best tool on the planet, period. There is not a better tool. And so today, what I want to cover are 3 insider secrets of video marketing. And yes, I am an insider. I've been doing this for over 18 years. The first secret that I'm going to share is how to get all your marketing videos done insanely fast and 100% strategical, even if you're on a startup budget and without the frustration of wondering what on earth to create. And the second secret is this: how you can easily create stunning story-selling videos from your living room or anywhere using only your smartphone and a laptop, even if you have the tech ability of a cricket. And you can do this without the frustration of wasting your time, period. And the last thing that I want to show you is how you can smash the fear of getting in front of the camera and position yourself as an expert without looking like a total amateur or sounding salesy and inauthentic. And for those of you who don't know me, or that you might be wondering, who the heck are you to be telling me about this stuff? I humbly submit to you that you're absolutely in good hands. My name, like I said earlier, is Chris Cunningham. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm obsessed with helping other entrepreneurs tell the story of what it is that they do. And just so you're aware, I am an award-winning filmmaker. Crazy stuff, because you never think it. I'm just some dude from Podunk, Indiana. But my work has been featured on a host of different television networks that you're seeing down there. I won't go through all of them. But I currently own a thriving video production and a marketing company. I am the founder of Video Creation Academy and co-founder of Video Marketing Unleashed, but my world has literally revolved around video since 2002. I have produced over 45 nationally televised documentaries. This is me working with Billy Valentino, the director of the Conan O'Brien show. But something I'm most proud of and most humbled by is that I've had the chance to produce programs that have raised enormous amounts of money for humanitarian efforts. And we've done so as recently as last year for both human trafficking and homelessness. And again, I'm super proud of that. Okay, at this point, I want you to buckle up for the ride. We're going to get going super fast, so take notes as best as you can. One of the things that I like to do is delineate what I teach about video marketing as opposed to other programs that are out there. And I find this absolutely insane and bonkers. I don't understand this. But most programs that are out there, they're teaching students to create landslides of content, right? They're having you write scripts, get camera ready, filming and publishing to social media nearly every single day for almost any given month. Unfortunately, these programs are not teaching the skills to create great looking video content that positions you in your niche as an expert, not only is this approach exhausting, but anyone who's been in business long knows that guarding your reputation, that is so critical. That can't happen if you're sharing content that consumes all of your time and makes you look like a total amateur. Now, on top of all this kind of strategy completely ignores video's real superpower, which is the ability to clone yourself and clone your sales message. Unfortunately, those strategies, they have you publishing in such a way that your videos disappear on social media after just 2 or 3 days. But I want you to think of video like this. Video, when you produce it and you publish it correctly, it's kind of like taking your very best salesperson that you have, you're cloning that person and making it so that they take every single one of your viewers by the hand, and it guides them through the actual buying process in order to get your product and service into their hands. Again, that's cloning yourself on automation. And with video, you're allowed to test your message. You can tweak it, and then once it's perfected, you don't touch it. You set the, literally, it's a clone version of your best salesperson, which is probably you, on autopilot. Sometimes I like to think of how efficient a video is compared to what an employee would cost for the same amount of work, right? This is one of my YouTube channels, and over the course of a single year, the channel has a bunch of views, about 12,900 hours viewed, right? If we had an army of $10 per hour employees who put in 12,900 hours, that would have cost us $129,000. Now, as an example, this video that you're looking at, I released it online in December of 2012. It brings in several qualified leads every month to this day and has generated better than 6 figures for me on autopilot. It's just one single video. And that is a perfect example of what a great video does when it's done right. It automates the process. Again, you set the clone version of yourself loose online. So what I want to do now is I want to tell you a quick story. It's about a newbie marketer with zero experience, how they created an 8-figure video marketing strategy and helped save the lives of thousands of children in less than 2 years. Now, I literally can't think of a more valuable thing to share with you, because in this story is the most powerful marketing lesson that I've ever learned to date. And I will warn you, it is kind of a sad story, but it is what life gave me. And that newbie marketer is me, just for reference. First of all, I'll just start the story by saying this. I went to graduate school. I wound up enrolled in an acting program, which I hated. And so I was about to drop out. And yes, that is me serving jail time in a movie, but but instead, I chose to change majors to film directing, where I completely lost my mind over story structure. I geeked out over it. It's important to note that in film school, I didn't touch a camera in film school. I focused on screenwriting mostly. So I became this guy who would watch movies with a spreadsheet open, and I would chart out the entire plot, things like character journeys and plot points. And I did this with hundreds of movies. And this is key to what I'm about to teach you in those 3 secrets, by the way. But by the time I graduated, we had 2 children. I was dreaming big, right? I was armed with my spreadsheets full of movie plots and character arcs. The world was my oyster. But more than anything, I just wanted to be a great provider to my family. But instead, I found myself jobless. My degree had cost us almost $100,000, so we were pretty far in debt. Before you knew it, after grad school, 3 months went by. Couldn't lock down a job anywhere. We wound up on food stamps. That's an apartment, government-assisted apartment complex we were living in at the time. Literally 6 entire months went by. I was still jobless, completely crushed, devastated. But anyway, finally, a former professor shared with me a producer slash cinematographer slash marketing job. It fundraised for humanitarian efforts, things like feeding malnourished children, building orphanages, stuff like that. The big concern here was I wasn't a television producer and I wasn't a cinematographer. I was literally a jobless actor who loves story, 100% not qualified here, right? Nonetheless, I had to sell the crap out of myself because I needed a job. I needed to do something. And I did land the gig. I shouldn't have landed. And we wound up moving to Florida. As you can see there, we're on the beach. There's my son at the bottom there in his little blue shorts. He's now 18, by the way. What happens next? Total magic. And it's very humbling. There was a lot of travel, but my first day I was transported on the back of this beat to crap dump truck far off into the mountainous regions of Haiti to a makeshift medical clinic. But we weren't there long until this little boy was brought to us. He was maybe 4 or 5 years old, and he was so malnourished that his rib cage was just pressed up against his skin, and his head was too big for his little body. So skinny, I couldn't fathom what on earth I was seeing. Right? He looked like an alive baby skeleton. Is the only way I can think to to speak it. I don't know how else to describe it. But there I am with this big old honking camera on my shoulders, which I barely know how to use. And I'm starting to wonder, what have I done? Why am I here? I'm literally responsible to produce and film nationally televised documentaries that fundraise for dying babies in orphanages. Are you kidding me? I was terrified. You talk about baptism by fire into the world of marketing. And remember, I was an actor. I wasn't some marketing guru. But I'll just say it this way. When I saw what I saw, wasn't a chance on this earth I was going to fail. I was going to save babies' lives, period. But how? I had no clue how I was going to do it with my stupid spreadsheets. Yeah, that is the answer. I was going to do it with my stupid spreadsheets. I didn't know it at the time, but it was all I had. Remember, I had studied story structure on Hollywood films. So these films, they had made billions and billions of dollars, right? That's what I was studying. That's what I knew. So I'm starting to ask weird things like, who's the Darth Vader of the story? Who's the Obi-Wan Kenobi? But the most important question I remember I was asking was, who was the hero of these marketing documentaries? Now, that might seem like a silly question for most people, I'm sure, but for me, I knew if I could crack that code, that I could take this incredibly powerful ancient story structure technique, because that's what those movies are using. It's an ancient story structure technique, but I could use it to help save lives of children in a big way. And for several weeks, that question was just so frustrating. Who was the hero? Was it the organization? Was it the people we were helping? But I remember flying home from Haiti. It was actually the first trip. I was journaling, and this light bulb, it just snapped. I just was missing on a key character in the entire story of who could actually be the hero. And this revelation, it was so exciting. The hero I determined was in fact not me. It wasn't the organization that we were serving, and this may surprise you too, but it wasn't the people of that third world country either. Okay? The hero of the story was actually the viewer. And suddenly, when I realized that, when I reckoned with that new thought, everything fell into place for me. I suddenly knew who Darth Vader was, the villain. And I want you to take note of these slides because they're going to come back. And we're going to show you how to apply this stuff to your business. I knew the plot points that had to happen, okay? And how to position the organization as a mentor and position them as an authority. And I knew how to showcase our solution in such a way that compelled the hero to take action. And I knew what the climax of every single episode had to be. I suddenly understood how to take my understanding of story and apply it into the world of marketing, because I knew who the hero of the story was. I knew who the Darth Vader was. I knew who the mentor was, okay? In fact, I was able to simplify and adapt that Hollywood structure, and I blocked the program into 6 distinct segments. These are all critical for what we're going to talk about. And when I figured this out, who the hero was, what happened next was this revelation was a major overhaul in how the show had been scripted before I arrived. They didn't say it in these terms, but the organization had unintentionally considered themselves the hero. And it manifested itself in scripting about things like the kind of mortar and the bricks they were using to build their orphanage, like just the technical jargon about the whole business of it all. And they weren't driving at the pain points that the viewer might be feeling about the story that they were seeing unfold before them. But when we changed that, when we applied this new framework so that the viewer was the hero of the story, right? Who had a journey, that hero has a journey to go on, to be part of the story. What happened next? I mentioned this before. It was very magical. And I say that because it worked. This shift instantly, it was immediate. It caused the organization's revenue to spike, and not just a little bit. They had plateaued in their fundraising efforts over the past 5 years, only to double year over year over the next 2 years, so that they went from generating $2 million per year to $2 million every 10 weeks. They 5x their revenue. Little did I know it at this time, but that idea was no small idea. It was a big idea. And to date, this is the single most important video marketing revelation that I've ever made. And it impacts every single thing I'm going to teach from here, especially those 3 insider secrets we're about to dive into. However, if you are the note-taking type, I do recommend writing this down and perhaps committing it to memory and just burn this into your heart. My brand is not the hero. The viewer is. if you'll indulge me to geek out on cinematic story structure, I just want to give you a visual of who you are in the listener's story. This is so important. You are the listener's Obi-Wan Kenobi, or their Morpheus, if you will. They're Gandalf, right? Story structure gurus, they call this character in motion pictures the mentor or the guide. And the reason you should be listening to this is because it's worked time and time again since then to 5X businesses and nonprofits over and over and over in my production company. Ultimately, you are the one who provides a magical plan and a magical solution to the hero who has the problem to deal with. And that's what we did with the organization. But when you position yourself in your business this way, when you recognize that the viewer is the hero, that they are the one who has a pain point, they're the one going through life in needs of the type of help that your service or mine can provide, not only does this deeply affect how your marketing is implemented, but when you come at things as a mentor or a guide with a solution for others, you come at it from the place of a deeper why. So your message, it begins to build trust and you gain authority. And it doesn't matter whether you're coaching others or selling skincare or you're in the world of health and fitness, whatever it is that you do. When you approach it this way, instead of being in sales, you get to be in service of other people's problems and challenges. And when we're in service, things absolutely shift. People can feel the energy differently, and it's your duty and it's your responsibility to help people through their struggles and their challenges and their pain. And that's precisely what happened in our messaging, so that we went from $2 million per year to $10 million per year, saving that many more lives. Now, I know what you might be thinking at this point. You might be saying, Chris, you are saving babies' lives. It was a nonprofit already generating $2 million per year. Plus, these were televised documentaries. How does this apply and how does this work for me? Well, that's precisely what our first secret is about. And remember, that was just the origin of where this whole video marketing game plan that I invented came from. Listen, when something is born out of such an intense emotional impact, and it had to be good, or people would literally die, I'm here to tell you, a pressurized coal becomes a diamond, and that's exactly what this has become for me and for my family and for those that I've worked with. That said, I'm going to share with you how I transformed what I learned in that third world country into what I call the perfect video strategy, and this is a very powerful strategy. It's literally how my wife and I launched our very first business, and we went from $0 to $1,000 per day starting the first day of our launch. This is a crazy story, but it's exactly what Insider Secret number 1 is about, which is how to get all your marketing videos done insanely fast and 100% strategical. So important. And I'm just going to give you 3 steps to make that happen, even if you're on a startup budget and you have no idea where to begin. So I'll start with this. Because of the success I had with that humanitarian organization, word spread. I was courted by another company who stole me away. They seemed to believe in me. The pay was really good, better than any pay at that time I had ever had in my life. So my wife and I took the job, moved across the country to the West Coast with our 2 children. Couple of things I didn't realize. The company was in big financial trouble, and the environment, as a result, was very volatile. Straight out the gate, they were confused by all of my story-centric shenanigans. They didn't understand it, so nearly 100% of my ideas were rejected from day number 1. By the end of the first year, I was concerned I was going to get laid off. I was starting to get disgruntled myself. Frustrated and worried, I just started to wonder, could I actually start my own business as a way to pave my path out of there? Now, I'm not from a family that had ever done that. I'd never done it before. Sounded terrifying, but the bigger question was, if I was going to launch my own business, how do I adapt what I had learned in that third world country to work for me? I did know this, that the choice was clear. If we were going to start our own thing, we were going to go 100% all full speed on, full throttle on video marketing. The big problem was, how do I adapt what I knew about video? Because everything that I had learned already was for nonprofit, right? It was that humanitarian organization, and they had the other things that they had $2 million in annual revenue. Not only that, they had a TV network gave them 30-minute time slots. Plus, it had national distribution. I didn't have any of that. My potential company would be a brand new startup, for-profit company, right? No revenue, 0 cash flow, no strategy whatsoever, and only the internet as our distribution route. And that leads to the first step. I told you I was going to give you 3 steps. I call this hack the proven process. Remember, I had already hacked the Hollywood story structure once, and I remember thinking if it worked for Hollywood movies, it would gross billions, and if it worked for that humanitarian organization, then I remember thinking, going, well, just hack it again. It might work for us. Don't reinvent the wheel. Hack the proven process for myself to, to start a company on the internet. So this is where things like, I believe they get really exciting right here. I told you I was going to bring these graphics back, so which I'm doing. So here we go. For the television program, I actually broke it into 6 essential segments for each individual episode. And I'm going to break that down here for a very distinct reason so that I can teach you how to apply this stuff to your own business. The first segment, I would always launch with the villain. What I mean by that, when I was geeking out over story structure in film school, I actually realized that a high percentage of the top grossing films, they launched with the villain. Perfect example would be Star Wars, right? It launches with Leia having been kidnapped by the villain. That is not the only film. I won't go into a film like history lesson here, but many of the top grossing films do this. They launch with the villain. For context, what does that mean for us in that third world country? And this is so critical for all businesses, but we would share educational stories that inform the viewer of the problems that they're interacting with. It might be the story for us. It was like the story of an orphan child or of a malnourished family who desperately needs support. So educating about the villain or about the problem, that is the first segment. Now, the second thing, in motion pictures, the hero always meets a wise mentor that understands their pain and fear. For example, Frodo meets Gandalf, Luke meets Yoda. Now, I will say that most business owners don't recognize that their customer's external challenge causes an internal struggle. So they miss this amazing step of being a mentor and showing that they actually understand the pain of their customers. So we did this, though, for the television program. I would always showcase our passion of why we do what we do, especially our desire to halt the pain that's caused by the challenging situation. So whether it was about an orphan child or a sick family, this would build immediate rapport with the viewer, and it would build that trust, that know, like, and trust factor that we need and we want in our businesses as well. So for the third step, we would actually have the mentor, which was us. We would showcase a magical solution to conquer the problem. So if you think of Gandalf or Yoda or Obi-Wan Kenobi, they nearly always offer a demonstration of some sort of magical solution to the hero. So we would do that. A good example would be the lightsaber. He teaches Luke how to use the lightsaber. Obi-Wan Kenobi does. For us, what that meant was demonstrating how the medical clinic helps the sick or the orphanages provide a home, right? We would demonstrate our magical solution. And that leads us to step number 4, which is the mentor propels the hero to take action to conquer the problem. So in the fourth segment, what we would do, how I interpreted that was we would actually make an offer to our viewers with a crystal clear, concise offer that was action-oriented, right? Now, as I'm sure you're aware, making offers is foundational to running any business, right? But that leads us to step number 5. This step might be my favorite discovery as a newbie marketer because if you just read it on screen, in motion pictures, the call to action leads to a showdown, which ends in decisive victory or tragic failure. Cool story about this step. I started introducing testimonials as a means to accomplish this into the program. It would highlight victory through transformative experience that a family might have, or we would show the tragic side of it, which would be a testimonial of a family in need, things like that. But we would then give the call to action again in the program. So there was 2 calls to action, so to speak. But I learned super fast that the testimonial, it was a game changer. It would catapult revenue. As it turns out, I now know that the testimonial video, it commonly gets the highest return on your investment. So that's step number 5. And lastly, in motion pictures, when the hero returns home, many times they're rewarded for their brave action. So if you watch Narnia ever, they end up at the castle and they get crowns all put on their head. That's why the little stick figures with the crown. But what we would do in our program, we would offer to send the viewer a free gift, which is a reward for their action, if you will. Sometimes we would mail like a coin from the country of Haiti or a rock from a village, something with an emotional story tied to it. But also, here's what the kicker was, and here's what my takeaway was when I launched my business, which we're going to get to in a second. We would offer a digital newsletter in exchange for their email address, and that was a reward for their action, right? So that was the 6th step. This is literally what you're seeing on screen. This is the exact 6-segment structure that we use to 5x that organization's revenue. Not only that, what you see before your very eyes became my game plan to get out of my job. So to hack this structure for my startup business, I simply did one single thing. I decided each segment from the TV show would become its very own online video. This would mean we would only need to create 6 short videos, just 6. That's all in total. Now, for a little context of that startup business that we were launching back then, I had the idea to make pre-made graphics for small churches. And I'm really excited to share this with you because it's going to make a lot of sense as I unfold this. We wanted to make things like church bulletins and various media they could download and print, or they could download and use in their PowerPoint presentations, just graphics and things like that. There would be no tangible product for us, just digital assets for download. Now watch this. The first video would need to be an educational video about the villain. Well, what's the villain? What do you mean, Chris? What is that? Well, small churches, they commonly won't have a budget for a creative team. So there was a challenge or problem, so to speak, to get affordable graphics that were aesthetically pleasing, right? Now, for a small church that wants to be relevant in a tech-savvy world, my premise was that this could be a substantial problem, so we made a video that showed that. The second video, what we would need to create would be an About Us video that showcased our passion to solve the problem, would showcase why we're doing what we're doing. The third video would simply demonstrate how to download and use our creative elements for their church service. Taught them a little bit of PowerPoint stuff, taught them how to download the graphics, how to open them, things like that, just demonstration. The fourth video was the sales video that made a compelling action-oriented offer. And the fifth video meant that we would need to create testimonial videos of someone who loved our products. And finally, the sixth video we would need to create was a freebie that could be downloaded. And we would use that to grow our email list. And we're going to get into that a little bit more here in a moment. But look at the simplicity of this game plan. Just 6 videos. So that is how I hacked the proven process. I tore it all apart. And instead of a half-hour program, we were going to create 6 videos and connect them together with call to actions. And that's how I came up with what we now call the perfect video strategy. At the end of the day, the real question is, did this work? If not, who cares, right? Here's how it went down. As fast as we could, we created the first versions of our downloadable digital products. We created then 5 of the videos in about a week. We couldn't create a testimonial video because, well, we had none. The product was brand new. At that point, we chose a new city to live in. I gave a 4-week notice to the company I was working for. We bought plane tickets. Still can't believe we did this, but we launched our first business onto the internet using home video camera and this strategy that you're looking at as our marketing plan. I rushed to get everything done, and we finalized nearly everything the same morning that we took off on the plane. It just worked out that way, that when we got on the plane, we had 0 sales ever. And when we landed, I remember showing Rachel, my wife, the sales and saying, oh my gosh, this is working, because we made our first $1,000. I actually wondered if it was a fluke or something, some mistake was happening. This was our first day, and by the end of our first week, it wasn't a fluke, we learned, because we had profited nearly $10,000. And you know, we continued to grow that business until I sold it 7 years later. So if the question is, did this strategy work? The answer is, yeah, it worked amazingly. And I want to pause before I go on. If you remember, we started this journey on government assistance. I mentioned that in the story earlier. This thing called video is the thing that transformed our lives and transformed our businesses. It gave us a presence on the internet. It just put us on the map, right? And since then, this strategy has been refined. It's been vetted and proven, and has literally been responsible for generating tens of millions of dollars for my own video clients and a host of transactions to the tune of millions of dollars in my own business. And the coolest thing about this entire thing, our investment to launch that business was $0, because we did it with a home video camera, and the phone in your pocket is way more powerful than what we had back then. And we're going to get into that in a second, but that leads me to the second step. I told you there's a 3-step process. The second step in this process for you is hack what we did. Sketch out your blueprint. I just gave that to you. Do a screen grab of this plan right here. It works. Literally draw this out on paper or whiteboard, whatever you got to do. Once you've sketched it out, you say, okay, this is what I need to create. And that leads me to the third step, which is to create them faster and easier with the Video Creation Academy. Now, for us, we didn't have something like this, but for you, you can easily go into the members area where I teach you everything that you need. You can just simply grab the plug and play script templates for each of the video types, use the step-by-step lessons to film them so that they look amazing. They won't look crappy. They're not going to look cringy. And you can get them done super fast. This is not your typical training where someone just they tell you a theory and they leave you lost and confused. I take you step by step. I give you hands-on practices that get your videos done without all the fluff. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, okay, the strategy clearly works for Hollywood films. It made billions of dollars. It worked for you in that nonprofit. It also worked for you, Chris, to sell digital products. But will this strategy actually work for me? And the short answer is yes. If you have a product, brand, or service that helps people with their struggles and you can help mentor them through those challenges, through those problems, then yes, this strategy is 100% for you. In fact, I'll share some of this in action. Derek is an iron welder, and he really wanted to use his creative flair to build unique tables and bars and fire pits, things like that. But because staircases and handrails, they were one of his primary products, he realized that he had a customer perception issue. They were plugging him into his phone as the handrail guy, right? Now, he didn't want to stop doing those. They're good money. That's his business, right? His primary income. He simply wanted to shift his perception and expand his client base with more of the artistic stuff, right? Now, that said, the first video that we created for him was an About Us video that showcased the passion of why he does what he does. And I'd like to show you a little bit of that, only a few seconds of it, and then we'll come back and talk about it. So here goes.
I love working with iron because there's no boundaries. I can shape it, I can form it, I can cut it, I can make a mistake, or if it's not what I want, I can always re-weld, I can put it back. Even if I make a mistake, the mistake becomes a part of the design.
So isn't that awesome? Think about it. We took the conversation of cold black iron and we brought some warmth to it by just sharing his passion of why he does it. It was super easy to create, and we are going to tackle that part of things in a moment. But first, I just want to share with you the result of Derek's video within 24 hours of posting it to Facebook. Check this out. It reached nearly 8,550 people, and it garnered over 3,300 views in 24 hours. And by day 5, it had over 4,500 views, and this is all organic traffic. We didn't put a single advertising dollar against this video. Now, another cool thing that happened on the third day, Derek called me. He was freaking out. He was saying, he was like, oh my gosh, dude, you're never going to believe this. I was recognized at the bank today. And she said, hey, aren't you that guy from the video who creates art out of iron? Our literal goal was to change the brand perception, like what people were perceiving him as. And we did that. But here's the deal. Video, when it's done right, it will engage and it will resonate, but the proof is in the pudding, as they say, right? Because to date, he's generated nearly 6 figures with this one single video. And that number, it just continues to grow and grow month over month. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, okay, it works for that nonprofit company. It worked for the startup company. It works for, you're selling digital products. It works for a local brick and mortar company like Derek's. And of course, Derek had your help, Chris. But that leads me to Carrie's story. She's a Video Creation Academy student who is a health coach that initially made every excuse in the book to get started with her videos, and she'll admit this, but when I coached her through it, she created her very first video using her iPhone and a $15 microphone, and her phone blew off the hook. And let her share with you what happened next.
So Carrie, you braved it out and you shared your work. Was that scary? Were you scared to do that, or were you just like, I'm doing it, I'm going for it?
It is game on. It's happening. I'm getting out of my head. I'm getting out of my own way. I need to just put it out there and see what it looks like. Oh my God, my phone has blown up all day.
Really?
Wait a minute, hold on, I missed a part. You put your video out there and your phone's blowing up.
Blowing up. My phone has been blowing up all day. My husband's phone is blowing up all day. People that have said, oh my gosh, well, I've been watching your story, but I just watched your video and we have got to talk, girl. I got to get this weight off, and so blowing up.
What phone are you using, or what camera?
It was an iPhone 10.
Your video looks better than most of the junk that's out there, and I don't want to beat other people up, but that's so important to the impression of our brand.
Now, isn't that amazing? I get so excited talking about this because she wound up booking 2 new clients within 24 hours. What I teach are techniques that help you not only create beautiful brand building videos, but videos that have massive success out the gate, okay? Okay, so that's secret number one, how you can literally get all your marketing videos done insanely fast and 100% strategical, and it's plug and play simple. Now, I just wanted to dive in a little bit deeper on all this stuff. Just before we launched Video Creation Academy, we surveyed about 400 business owners about their biggest struggles as they relate to video. And one of the main struggles that people feel is that it's daunting and it's intimidating, and they feel like the learning curve is just too huge. You know, like things like what gear they need and how to use that gear, which leads us to that second insider secret, and that is how you can easily create stunning story-selling videos from your living room or anywhere, wherever you are, using only your smartphone and a laptop, even if you have the tech ability of a Cricut. Now, some of you might be saying, really, Chris? My smartphone? Are you serious? And the answer is yes, really, your smartphone. I will mention that about 3 or 4 years ago, I started getting people, they would ask me, these are customers of mine, hey Chris, can I use my smartphone to make videos for my business? And I'd get pretty snarky initially and say something like, yeah, but it's going to suck. Then a strange thing happened. I watched this surf documentary and it looked absolutely like breathtaking. It was stunning. Then I realized they shot it on an iPhone. And for me, this was kind of like the Matrix, where Neo takes the red pill, which reveals an unpleasant truth that things they just aren't what they seem. Because my entire belief system was the way that I had to learn things was that they were supposed to be hard. Cameras should have tons of buttons and it should be complicated and it should be techy if it's going to create pretty images and do awesome things. Now, 4 or 5 years ago, this was totally true. But today, the truth is, this is absolutely and totally false. This is not true at all. The truth that I had to accept is that modern high-definition smartphones, they are now more powerful than the cameras I used to film nationally televised documentaries on just a few short years ago. They are so powerful, and that surf documentary, it's absolute proof of that. And because smartphones, they are designed to be user-friendly, the learning curve for the technical side of things, it is astoundingly fast. It takes a minimal amount of time to implement just a little bit of knowledge that goes a long way to create stunning-looking videos. So the real issue here is not whether you own the right gear, right? Because 99% of you already do. It's whether you have the right knowledge of how to unleash the power of that gear. Remember, we're not trying to make Star Wars, but we're also not talking about cringy looking videos with bad framing and bad lighting that could potentially harm your brand either. My students in Video Creation Academy, they are making powerful videos that are beautiful, and they're building their brand, and they are making money with these videos right out the gate. Now, if you remember Chris, I want him to share his experience in the academy. He was our first student to join this year, and if you recall, the premise for our course was that I could take a complete newbie by the hand, and no matter what their experience, within 2 days, we could literally build their strategy, have them script and film and publish their first video, which is designed to close sales, and they could do this using video's superpower, which is automation. Now, here's what Chris Cowden had to say in a Zoom video about his experience. So here that is.
I think the main problem that I was struggling with was getting qualified leads, but online. So the moment I decided that video was the right thing for me was that I saw a lot of other network marketers doing it and it was working out for them. The only real thing that held me back was how other people saw me, the opinion of others. So that there was no other reason why I didn't appear on camera. I was just anxious. I was nervous about putting myself out there. I decided to do the course and prove Chris wrong. And he said that he could get a pure beginner in video to film, edit, cut, do all the shebang in 2 days. And I said, no, that's not right. I'll prove him wrong, or prove myself right. Let's say that. I thought I put a 2-day limit and do as much as I can, but I did manage to get it done in the 2 days. Video Creation Academy has helped me just really believe in myself. I never thought I'd be able to create my first video the way it was created, and the quality that came out of at the end of it. My whole anxiety around video editing and creating videos was gone. As soon as I watched a few videos, followed it step by step, and it's almost as easy as tying your laces. I would recommend it any day to anybody who was interested. The live coaching calls are amazing. You get to ask questions, and yeah, just get on the course straight away because you won't regret it.
Isn't that powerful? Not only had Chris been terrified of the process before getting into the course, but within 48 hours, he made an entire video. He shared it and closed a client within 4 hours. And he tells us it's almost as easy as tying your shoelaces. So that's how you can easily create stunning looking videos from your living room with powerful technology that you already own, using only your laptop and a smartphone, even if you have the tech ability of a Cricut. And I hope that secret number 2, that this was encouraging, that you really can get started with gear that you already own, right? So, okay, at this point you might be saying, okay, I think that video could be very powerful for me. And like Chris Cowden, I could probably learn to to make a great looking video pretty fast with the right knowledge. But you also might be like Chris in that you're nervous about putting yourself out there. I've heard a lot of people say that I don't want to look stupid, or I don't like my voice, or, you know, that they have imposter syndrome, things like that. A big one for me is a fear of what my friends or family might say. And the list really, it goes on and on and on as to why people might be afraid of it. But that leads us to secret number 3, which is how to smash the fear of getting in front of the camera without wondering what to say or sounding salesy and inauthentic. Quick story about this. When I was in college, I was in a speech class, and students, they had to give a 60-second introduction of themselves, and it was by surprise. I didn't know what was going to happen. When it was my turn, my knees got all wobbly. My heart started pounding. My neck tightened up, and my head literally, it started to shake. Now, I literally have no recollection of what I said that day, but what I remember is afterward, how painfully dumb that I felt. And I think this is how a lot of people feel when it comes to getting on camera. The most frustrating part is this, that logically I knew I shouldn't be afraid, but I was terrified. Now, since then, I've learned that being in front of an audience actually triggers the kind of fear that ignites the body's fight or flight response. So in essence, my response that day was very similar to being chased by a bear, which is crazy, right? But if you've ever heard the acronym, fear is false evidence appearing real, it applies quite well here. Now, humans are hardwired to worry about our reputation above almost all things, and I personally learned that part of our job as being a human being is to recognize false evidence and not embrace that false evidence as truth, because if we do, something like the fear of being judged or of sounding dumb or even fear of coming off as inauthentic, that's exactly the kind of belief that can legitimately hold us back from our dreams. And then also on a smaller scale, it can hold us back from introducing something as powerful as video into our marketing efforts because of anxiety. It's the most powerful tool of them all, and we're going to let something like anxiety hold us back. That's not the right reason, right? So I want to do 2 things right now. First, I want to share Rachel's struggle with this. And then second, I also want to share a video that's been created through the Video Creation Academy so that you can actually see an example. But first, again, I want to talk about Rachel. She's a life coach. Before creating her first video in the course, she shared her biggest challenge with getting started with video. And here that is. Here's what she said. My biggest struggle is knowing how to share what I do with people. I don't want my videos to sound like a sales pitch. I want them to share my heart. Overcoming my fear of the camera will be at the top of my list for the next few months. So I want you to check this out. This video that I'm going to share is her first video. It was created with a smartphone and a $15 microphone, okay? And I want to ask you at the end whether you feel like this is a great brand building video, or does she resonate? Or does it seem inauthentic, like she's saying, or like a sales pitch of some kind? Remember, this is her first video. And so here that is. I want to show that to you. Here we go.
I'm Rachel Cunningham. I'm a life coach that helps women who struggle with emotional eating. I'll give them the tools to overcome emotional eating and to be able to manage their thoughts and feelings without gravitating to food and alcohol. There was a time in my life where my own energy and mental clarity was suffering dramatically. I had intense energy leaks. I couldn't focus, and I was having a hard time showing up for myself, much less my family. So I embarked on a journey of saying, how can I care for myself? And so I began learning tools of how to do that. The more I learned those tools, the more I wanted to share with other people. Life is a big challenge for most women. Many moms have kids with special needs. We're working full-time jobs and managing families. We are, in addition to many women are volunteering and things like that. And then other women have a lot of struggle over past abuse and are still trying to figure out how to deal with that past abuse. What we gravitate to is what comes easy, which is, you know, overly processed foods and sugar and alcohol. And when we eat those things on a daily basis to numb our feelings and to deal with our emotions, it wreaks havoc on our health and increases weight gain, it decreases our energy, it increases our health problems and our brain fog. The biggest misconception that one of my clients might have is that they're a lost cause. You know, they may have been on 20 diets, you know, or they may have been dieting since they were teenagers and now they're in their, you know, 30s or 40s, and they just keep trying and failing and trying and failing, and they believe that they're a lost cause, that there's something broken in them that can't be fixed. I want them to know that they are absolutely not a lost cause, no matter how long they've been trying and in their eyes failing. They can absolutely learn the tools to be able to feed themselves in a way that improves energy, where their weight will balance to a natural weight, and their health starts to improve dramatically. They are not a lost cause. They can learn the tools to do these things consistently. If you're a woman who's struggling with emotional eating and you know that there is more to life, more energy, more fun, more peace to be had regardless of your current circumstances, check out my free guide to end emotional eating. You'll receive immediate strategies that you can start practicing right now and begin using your brain to end emotional eating. Click the link below this video and you'll get instant access to it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you on the next page.
Isn't her video great? I mean, that was shot with an iPhone and a $15 microphone. And I told you I was going to do this, but let me ask you, do you feel like her video would resonate with her target audience? Or does she come off as authentic? Or does she come off as somebody who doesn't know what to say? You know what I mean? Or does she come off as some sort of authority who can solve the very problem within her niche, right? That's my answer. Of course she does. Of course that's a powerful video. So whether it's Rachel or Chris or Carrie, each of these, all three of them mentioned having a fear of putting themselves out there. But I am so psyched for each of them, for smashing the fear of getting in front of the camera, for overcoming that, for sharing their heart and positioning themselves as people of authority in the marketplace with their services in high demand. Not to mention Carrie's phone blowing off the hook. And you know what? Something I didn't share with you about Chris yet. He actually went on to 10x his investment in the price of the course within the first month. And I want you to hear my heart here. Chris could have come back with excuses. He was really vulnerable when he shared that the opinion of others was holding him back. But he chose to see through all that noise, to fight through it, and to see how video could change things for him long term. But he gets in the program, develops a skill that he can use for the rest of his life, and he earns more than $5,000. But he now has a skill and a framework that allows him to make significantly more money than any other thing that he's ever tried up till now. Right? And the same is true for you. As long as you got a little bit of hustle in you, that's all it takes. And I'm here to tell you that most marketing efforts are not going to pay the dividends in the same way that automated videos can sell your product, brand, or service. They just don't. And that's proven statistically, and it's proven through the testimonials, the countless testimonials I have through the Video Creation Academy. Okay, so let me ask you guys a question. I'm just wondering if you feel a little bit like this guy holding the hose right now. I know I only had your attention for a little bit and I wanted to cover as many things as possible, but I am curious. I would love it if you're interested in working with me. I would love to help you implement these things inside your business today, like I'm doing with so many other students, to be able to implement, number one, getting all of your videos done insanely fast and 100% strategical. So you know what videos to create and what sequences to create them in, and working with me to figure all of this out. And secondly, what you don't need is to be creating cringy looking videos with bad framing and bad lighting that could harm your brand, But how would you like help on that part from somebody who's been doing this for 18 years now? And I can teach you how to create stunning videos by unleashing the cinematic gear that you already own. And number 3, to help you smash the fear of getting in front of the camera. But more important than that, being able to position yourself so that you are a complete authority and you won't look like somebody who's a total newbie and inauthentic, because that does nothing to help your brand. If so, if you're interested in my helping you implement all of this, then I'm putting in a very special offer right now, which is to give you the kind of help to actually implement all of this stuff that you learned today so that you can be successful with video. And if you're cool with it, I'd like to take the next few minutes going over what that actual offer is. That way you can look at it, see if it's actually a good decision for you and your business. And honestly, if your jaw isn't dropping by what I'm offering, I would be deeply surprised. This is by far the greatest help and greatest offer I've ever made to businesses as it pertains to video marketing. So that's the plan. I'm just going to make the offer, let your jaw drop, have you join the program, and you're going to get moving immediately. By the end of the day tomorrow, you can have your first video done. Okay, so here's what you're going to get in this offer. Number 1, the first thing that you're going to get, I want to make sure that you have access to the Video Creation Academy, and I don't want you stressing out that we're in this weird economic time. So anyone who gets started today with this special offer, you're going to get this for free. Video Creation Academy for free if you take me up on this. Video Creation Academy is exactly what we've been talking about through this web class. It's the entire from script to screen system that teaches step by step how to do all the stuff we've been talking about, which is making stunning videos beneath a proven strategy that brings in leads and sales, right? And I want to talk about what members actually get inside the members area. This is an implementation program that shows you how to strategize, how to script, and how to film them so they look amazing, and then where to publish them once you're done. But most importantly, how do you monetize with video? We're going to show you that and a whole bunch more things, and you're going to get that today when you get started, right? And when you get into the members area, you're going to be able to create all sorts of videos, including videos from the perfect video strategy that we've discussed, which includes the educational videos, the About Us videos that showcase your passion, the free offer videos known as lead magnets to many people, and that's how you're going to grow your email list, product demonstration videos that show off what it is that you do, testimonial videos, and case studies of customers. You're going to be able to create amazing sales videos, and you'll be able to create so much more because these skills, they translate to any other video type that you might need. You're also going to be able to get amazing audio and amazing visuals because I eliminate all the tech overwhelm with easy to execute examples and lessons. This is literally me on screen teaching you step by step, simplifying the entire video marketing process. You get to watch over my shoulder shot by shot so that you're not left to wonder how to easily make these videos that are not just great looking, but these are the video types that bring in results. Again, when I say implementation program, I mean that students go through an initial 2-day experience to plan, prepare, and create your first video in just 48 hours, just like Chris Cunningham did. It's just a few hours of work each day because I distill and I boil down the lessons and I leave out all the heady, instruction and the theory. But what all this means, what joining Video Creation Academy means is you're not going to have to hire an expensive video team or a marketing firm, which will save you thousands of dollars per video. You're not going to have to become some filmmaker. You're not going to have to wonder what to say in your videos. You're not going to have to spend months and months watching YouTube. You're not going to have to waste time guessing what gear to buy, and you're not going to have to be overwhelmed by the technical aspects because I make all this stuff super easy for you, as I believe it should be. So that's part 1 of what you're going to get, which is the Video Creation Academy membership account, where you're going to learn stunning video creation inside 2 days flat. And this is a $1,997 value, but again, it comes free in the video with this offer that I'm presenting here. Okay, the second thing that you're going to get, this is also free in this special offer. You're going to get a deeper dive into the perfect video strategy. We're not just creating one video together. I don't start you off and then leave you hanging. The videos that we're making together are the 6 videos within the perfect video strategy we've already discussed. So check this out. After you create your first video through the 2-day experience, over the next 6 weeks, you're going to have access to additional training that teaches 1 video each and every module. So each module, it comes with a set of templated exercises to make sure your videos work the way that you want them to within the perfect video strategy. These are the exact 6 videos that helped catapult my company to my first company onto the scenes, right? However, for those of you who choose to go super fast, you're going to have access to all the training as soon as you sign up. So if you want to go faster or slower, that's entirely up to you. You can do 1 video per week, 1 video per day, however you you want to go, whatever pace you would like to. Even though this says week 1, it's actually module 1 because these are all released as soon as you join. But in week 1, in module 1, we first create the video that showcases your passion, which is the About Us video. In module number 2, or week number 2, we go over creating your free offer videos so you can grow your email list. In module number 3, we dive into creating educational videos that show you how these drive in massive traffic. These are your traffic getting videos. Week number 4, we create your product, brand, or service demonstration video. That just depends on what it is that you do, whether you're a coach or you have a tangible product. Then week 5, or module number 5, again, these are released all at once. It's not weeks, it's just modules. You'll be ready to create your powerful testimonial videos. Again, these are so powerful for customers to view, and they get the highest return on your investment. And I have a distinct plan on how you create these. And finally, in module number 6, we wrap it all up with your sales video. Now, here's the thing. I teach each and everything in the course by documenting myself as I make each of the 6 videos in real time, so that by the end of the 6th module, you'll have a minimum of 6 completed marketing videos uploaded and on the internet working on your behalf, right? And I just want to be frank with you. If you called my production company to make these 6 videos on your behalf, it's going to cost about $25,000, somewhere between 20 and 30 grand, depending on where you're located and what your videos actually are made up of. But that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to get you to hire me. We're going to make these together from script to screen, all 6 of these videos. But there is more. Over the course of 18 years, I've spent countless hours and energy and cash flow learning all of this stuff, right? And I don't want you to have to recreate the wheel, so I am providing proven script templates and workbooks for each video type. These are plug and play, ready to go, and will instantly expedite the process so you can get started insanely fast, which is why we can get through this inside 2 days for your first video. So not only will you save time that I've spent to develop all these, but you're also going to save what could be months and years of wasted time and money because you're doing it right the first time without having to go through the process of learning and vetting, improving and experimenting, right? These are proven script templates. There is no trial and error period. If you were to pay a copywriter to write a single script, that could cost you $1,000 or more. So that's the Video Creation Academy, the script templates, the perfect video strategy. Now at this point, some of you might be thinking, is this just going to be another one of those courses that's chaotic and it's tough to digest and I'm not going to be able to do it? Well, what I want to do is let our current students in Video Creation Academy respond to that. These are people who are artists. They own an ad agency, a life coach, network marketers, online entrepreneurs, but I want you to hear how this program has affected them. So here that is.
What Chris did for me is he said, just do one thing, but do the most powerful thing. And the most powerful thing in terms of marketing is video marketing. Not only did he do that, but he also showed me that I could follow a template, a series of videos that will tell a story that makes my customer the hero and me the mentor, the provider of the magic sword.
This course gives you all the elements you need to be able to put yourself out there as a professional, no matter how much experience you've had. This has overcome huge fears I've had, which sounds crazy because I don't have a fear of being in front of the camera. I have a great fear of speaking about what I do because it's so, as a life coach, so intimate and close to the heart that I wanted to make sure it came through in a way that was honest and sincere, I think was important to me. And this whole process gives you everything that you need.
The videos are easy to watch, broken down into segments, really easy to implement along the way, and have helped me create qualified leads, and I already have 2 clients on my books. So I'm super excited to be with them, a part of the community. The community is so helpful. The courses really straightforward.
His passion comes across in every aspect of his teaching, especially in the way he supports his students to achieve their success. It's like he puts our success above his own, and I just can't recommend the course highly enough. It's just brilliant. It's so where I should be right now, and it's fantastic.
Hey, I just want to hop on and leave this testimonial for Chris Cunningham. for his amazing program on helping me create videos, understanding the dynamics behind storytelling, also the technical pieces that go into it. It's really just, I mean, I went from, before really taking this program, I went from being somebody who struggled a lot with just even getting started. When I would do an intro video, I would do 25 takes, and it was really difficult for me to get rolling. Now that I started going through this program, it's really helped me kind of get over those hurdles. Video is king right now, so this is a program you need to be taking. If you haven't already, you need to consider video, and Chris is your guy for training you.
This resource that Chris provides is gold. It's priceless for me and for the future of my business. So I would urge you to take a close look at it.
So I want to get back to the offer. So let's recap what I've shared so far. First, you're going to get the Video Creation Academy members account. That's $1,997 value. Next, you're going to get the perfect video strategy training with the plug and play script templates and workbooks for each of these videos. All of this is free so far. These are also a $1,997 value for a total value of $3,994. And all of that, again, all of that is free. Okay, so my next question to you is this. How many of you would like me to personally coach and consult you through all of this? Do you think you'd have a better chance of success if I were actually helping you versus if you were left to figure this out on your own? I have been doing it for 18 years, so of course. And also, in case it slipped by, I've created more than 45 nationally televised documentaries, created countless marketing videos that have reeled in tens of millions of dollars. So yes, of course you would stand a better chance if I were coaching you through this, right? And that leads me to the third thing that you're going to get with this offer, and this is the paid portion of it. Everything to this point has been free. You're getting all that for free. And again, this is a jaw-dropping offer, and I would be surprised if your jaw is not dropping by the end. This is the exclusive Real Marketing Results Coaching and Mentorship Program. It is unbelievable. If you sign up today, you're going to get weekly access to live group coaching and consulting calls for as long as you're in the program. So what that means is as you're creating each of your videos, if you have questions or you get stuck on any part of the process about the strategy, about the story, about your script or filming or monetizing or publishing, any aspect of it at all, I will be able to help you in real time on a live call. Also, each week, we're going to dig into priceless video marketing hacks or different themes and topics. I'm going to provide additional training during these sessions, but I actually think I've lost my mind here. You're also going to gain exclusive access to future programs such as Facebook video ads training, YouTube Traffic Academy, learning about live streaming and more, just all these different programs that are on the horizon. You will have access to them in this coaching package. But get this, most people cannot afford tens of thousands of dollars for one-to-one mentorship. But with this exclusive program, you will get access to all the tools and strategies at a fraction of the cost. As a marketing and business consultant, as well as a story consultant for television, my current rate is $500 per hour. Last year, I'll just show you this. I have a single client who paid me $84,000, $84,247.92 to be exact, for my video and consulting services. This is a real 1099 that really belongs to me. But this will be an exclusive VIP group for those who join, and you will have priority access to me during these group coaching calls. Oh, and one more thing. The fourth thing that comes with this, you're going to get exclusive access to a private mentorship Facebook group. People love this group that are in it. I want to make sure that you feel you're not just getting a great value here. Here, you'll be able to connect with like-minded entrepreneurs, which is so important. You're not going it alone. You'll be able to share tools and tips and tactics together. You can collaborate, and that's what being part of a community is, of what a family is. In fact, one of our students just gave an SEO training that was lights out so good. This is a powerful group, and the value is priceless, and our members are just raving about the value of having that sounding board all the time. I cannot express how excited the students are to have this Facebook group. They are engaging every day and say that this is the only group I engage this much in. They love it. So when you join, here's what you're going to get. I'm going to go just kind of recap here a little bit. You're going to get access to the Video Creation Academy members area so you can learn how to create stunning videos and create your first video inside of 48 hours. This is a $1,997 value. Plus, you're going to get the perfect video strategy along with all the script templates, along with the week-to-week training, or the module-to-module training rather, creating all 6 of your videos one module at a time over the course of however long it takes you to do. 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time, 1 day at a time. It's your call. You get to go at your own pace. This is also a $1,997 value. And the third thing is the Real Marketing Results Coaching and Mentorship Program. This is a value of more than $2,497. And then there's the fourth thing, which is the VIP private mentorship Facebook group, which is a $997 value. And when you add the four of these together, it's a value of $7,488. Okay, so what else do you need? I want to make sure that you have everything you need so you don't get stuck. And that other thing that you absolutely must have is story. The difference between having content that brings in traffic and makes you money in your business is your ability to communicate your story with the people who view your content. Human to human connections, they are the heart and soul of business. Guess what brings that heart and soul? Story is the key to creating those connections and to be relevant. That really is the next thing that you have to master. So I did share this a few minutes ago with you, but I went from this dorky dude who geeked out over story, plotting films and spreadsheets and things like that, to remaining a dorky dude who launched a video production company and a marketing firm that's helped businesses generate avalanches of leads and tens of millions of dollars multiple times over with more than one business. But when I decided to create Video Creation Academy, one of the first things I wanted to do was break down my process for script writing using story and putting it into a training, particularly for writing one of the most difficult scripts to write, which is your sales script. That is one of the hardest scripts to write. But I've broken that down into a 9-step story selling system. It's called Story Scripts, and it's based on how I wrote those scripts in that third world country, but it's pared down to be able to be like a 60 or 90 second script, or if you want a 10-minute sales script, it's up to you. But this is the exact same structure used by movie moguls to create blockbuster films that have grossed billions of billions in revenue, right? This structure, it is story-centric, and it works like stinking wildfire. It's crazy. Plus, if you're someone who struggles with going on camera, a huge part of that is just simply knowing what to say, and this program solves that. This training not only shows you what to say, but it shows you exactly how to stop selling and start serving by positioning yourself as the mentor and an expert with a magical solution to solve the hero's problem. This is one of the most powerful programs you can get because it's rooted in ancient storytelling practices that have withstood the test of time. Story is so important, and story is critical to build those connections that we were talking about earlier. Okay, so here's a recap of all that you're going to get. You get the Video Creation Academy membership area. You're going to get the perfect video strategy training with the script workbooks and templates, huge value. You get the group coaching and consulting. That is week to week, by the way. You get the exclusive private Facebook group community, huge value there. And you also get the Story Scripts training so that you'll learn how to master your story. All of this combined, it's a total value of over $8,485. Now, obviously, I'm not going to charge you guys $8,485, even though I believe it's worth far more than that to begin adding video into your marketing efforts using a very distinct and proven game plan that I've developed. But let's say that we did charge that, $8,485. Let's say that was the actual price tag. And if all this system did was to get you started insanely fast and 100% strategical, to make your business more visible using the most powerful marketing tool on the planet. It is the most dominant, influential communicative tool ever known to mankind. Would it then be worth it, right? And what if this game plan worked for you as it's worked for my own business and as well as clients of mine, right? We 5x'd companies super fast using these techniques. So my question to you is this: what would that be worth for you? Now, that would be different for each and every person watching this video, but if you had launched a successful video strategy, what would that be worth to you? And I'm looking for a monetary value. Like, think about it in these terms. Even if you were able to simply 2x your business this year, what would that be worth to you financially? Would that be an extra $2,000 a month? Maybe it's 10,000, 50,000 or more. I don't know. But I want you to think about that number. And now that you have it in your mind, how much would you pay to have that one perfect video strategy working on your behalf that's growing your company on automation 24/7, right? How much would you pay to have that if you're going to be making that much more money? Now, for people like Derek, he paid me $5,500 to create that one single video for you. And you might go, whoa, that's a lot of money. But he's made 6 figures. Not a lot of you listening to this would pay me $5,500 to create that video for your company, would you? But he's made more than 6 figures off of just that one single video in less than 3 years. He has exponentially got a return on his investment. And the same is true as for me with this video that I released 7 years ago. It still brings in several leads every month and it's generated well over 6 figures for me on autopilot. So you can see why people like Derek pay me no less than $25,000 to create 6 videos on his behalf, because it's not a cost, it's an investment. They realize that the power of video can catapult their company faster than anything else that can be dreamed up. So you could see why this would be a screaming good deal if we were to sell it at $5,000. And outside this presentation, we sell the Video Creation Academy for $1,997, which I charge the general public. Even at that price, it's a great deal. And I'll tell you this, we actually have a sale for Video Creation Academy going on right now for $997. But because you're here today and because you are special and because you're one of the people who have hung out this long and because I told you I'm going to give you a jaw-dropping deal, I'm going to give you an incredibly ridiculous offer. We're going to give you access to everything we talked about today when you join my exclusive Real Marketing Results Coaching and Mentorship Program for just $97 per month. You'll see the link at the bottom of the page. I want you to open up a new browser right now and type in videocreationacademy.com/97 and you'll see the offer there, the same thing that we've just been talking about. But you get everything we've been discussing. You get the academy, the perfect video strategy, you get the script templates, all the hands-on training, the coaching, the story scripts formula. You get the additional training as it's developed and the VIP private mentorship Facebook group. You might be saying, wait, what's the catch? Are you insane, Chris? And well, first of all, yes, I am insane. But again, you'll see the link at the bottom of the page. I want you to open up a new browser right now and type in videocreationacademy.com/97. So if you join this at $97, it is recurred every month, but there are no strings attached. You don't have to commit for a year or anything like that. I'm not having you pay 3 months in advance. It's simply this. You can join for $97 per month with no obligation to stick around. Zero obligation to stick around. And here's why. We are just now launching this coaching program to include the Video Creation Academy and all the other programs that we're talking about. And the reason this price is so low today is that you are founding members. Not only that, my heart is to serve you, and my plan is to win your continued enrollment into the month-to-month coaching package by making sure you have tremendous value. I will be a mentor and a guide that serves you in such a way that you have tremendous value. But I want you to understand the price of this, it's going to be significantly higher in the future. But as long as you remain in the program, there are no strings. I will honor the $97 per month price point, even if I raise my prices. You will not get a price increase when the price goes up. Also, you can cancel anytime, no haggles, no anything like that. So at this point, you really have two choices. The first choice is that you can choose to do nothing. You can choose not to take this low-risk leap of faith. Or the second option is that you can take this leap of faith and just pony up the terribly small investment today compared to all the value that you get in return and just give it a shot. Just give it a try. Just see if this will work for you. Because if it does, imagine, how things could change for you. $97 is a pair of shoes. It's your Starbucks for the month. It's a date night. So the real question is this: is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check the program out? Even if it does only 1/100th of what I've claimed today, it will pay for itself as soon as your first video is published and live. Now, I like to mention this: with 80%, hear that number, 80% of online content this year being consumed through video, it's not a matter of if you're going to be using video. It's literally a matter of when. They're also projecting that between 3 to 5 years from now, video will make up 90% of how content is consumed online. So if you want this offer, the only way is right here, right now. If you want to be engrafted into that $97 price point, the time is now. Now open up a browser and go to videocreationacademy.com/97 and get started immediately. I do like to say this right now. I love this proverb. There's a Chinese proverb that says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. So sure, you should have started using video 5 years ago or 3 years ago or last year, or maybe you tried and you failed. And I understand these things happen, but now is the time. There is literally a reason that you found me and that you're here right now. And why did you get pulled into this web class, right? Why did you register? Why did you show up? Why did you sit here with me for over an hour now? Because you know that video is for you. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, right? So why not right now? It doesn't make sense to prolong this, especially as video is becoming more and more prevalent on the internet every day. Now is the right time, guys. I want you to open up that browser, go to videocreationacademy.com/97 and get started immediately. Now, when you go over there, this is how the page is going to look. You can use a credit card. It's a highly secure checkout system. We use Stripe for processing. It's a 256-bit encrypted payment processor. But I want to show you what happens once you enroll. After you enter your name and your information at the top of the page, you click the Buy Now button, and then boom, you're enrolled. Don't forget to select your country. It's just above where it says credit card information. Otherwise, it won't go through if you don't select your country code. But once your order is complete, you'll be given an order confirmation page, and then you're going to be able to click a link there, and it's going to take you to this page that you're seeing right here. And at that point, you'll just enter your email and a password. You'll have to enter your password twice when you first enroll. That way, it just verifies you put in the right one, and then boom. At that point, you'll have instant access to the Video Creation Academy. You're going to have the perfect video strategy training. You're going to have the story scripts formula and a whole bunch of other bonuses I didn't even mention. There's a huge bonus that I didn't even mention that's worth so much money. It's crazy. So here's the recap, and we'll be done of what you're going to get. You're going to get the Real Marketing Results group coaching and mentorship training. You're also going to get the Video Creation Academy, so you'll learn how to create your first stunning video inside of 48 hours. You're going to get the perfect video strategy, which you're going to create all 6 of those videos, one module at a time. You get the story scripts training, so you learn how to use story selling, right? The story selling formula. You just want to learn to master that story. You also get the exclusive private mentorship Facebook group community, and you get and on top of that, you get a bunch of bonuses that aren't even mentioned. You see music on the screen there. That's in there too. A bunch of music that's going to help you make your videos that much more powerful. And that said, that is the end of this training. Thank you so much. I hope you've learned a lot, and I do look forward to seeing you instantly in that group. And then, look forward to seeing you on the coaching calls too. Thanks so much for watching.